What's good, my beautiful people? It's Thursday. You know what that means. Another great day here inside the Black Actor Studio. I'm your host, Danny Royce, and joining me today is a remarkably talented actor, model, and entrepreneur. Don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Hey, we are here. We are here. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us inside the Black Actor Studio. Our guest today, you've seen him on Ballers, BET Games, People Play, Insecure, Straight Outta Compton, and many more. He's all around blessed. Stay blessed is his motto. Please welcome, the Black Actor Studio is very proud to have Jamaal Lewis.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
What's good, bro?
I can't call it, man. Another day. Real quick, before we get started, you mind if I say a quick prayer?
Yes, let's do it.
Man, dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you and praise you for this day. We give you all the glory just for this time spent. Just continue to keep us safe, watch over us, and protect us. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
go,
you.
man.
Now I'm ready to go.
Ready
Let's go.
now, yeah.
How was your day today, man?
I have no complaints. It's starting to get a little hot outside.
Yeah, it is.
It's
a little toasty out.
Yeah.
It's a little toasty out. But I do want to say congratulations for all the things that are happening right now. Your clothing line is back up and going strong.
Yep.
So just touch a little bit about that right now.
Man, I think it's just all timing. It's all God. You know what I mean? And it's, we kind of line our ducks up in a row and we just kind of knock them down. But life does come at us, and you don't know what's going to happen day to day. So I think it's just about being consistent, and there's things that are going to test almost your faith in not only God, but your faith in what you're doing.
Right.
And it's going to be the trials and tribulations that make you really see, like, oh, this is my passion, this is my purpose, this is what I'm here for, or you're going to fall out of it and go a different route.
Right.
So for me, this is my baby.
Yes, there you go.
Stay blessed.
Stay blessed.
Yes,
nice.
Sir.
I love that. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But in the actor studio, I like to start from the beginning.
Oh, Lord.
Where were you born?
I was born in Iowa City, Iowa.
Iowa City, Iowa. You can't get no Iowa than that.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So how was that, and how was the dynamic in the household?
The dynamic was cool, actually. I mean, being my father's black and my mother's white.
Yeah.
I got to see a lot of different stuff growing up, and I think it all kind of molded me. Nothing crazy out of the norm, you know what I mean? But it's a different dynamic, and I think as we've progressed as a society, mixed couples have been more welcomed, so to speak, back in the day. And I mean, I'm not trying to age myself, but it was a little bit back in the day.
It was back in the day.
It was lightweight. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and especially in Iowa, I can only imagine it was like not a lot of people saw it.
That much, and there was a lot of judgmental looks going on at the time. And I was a little kid; I didn't really know what was going on.
Right.
Yeah, we went from Iowa then to Minnesota.
Okay.
In which it was, still a little bit. My dad was military, so we bounced around a lot. So,
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So how was your relationship with your mom?
I'm a mama's boy.
Yeah.
I say it loud and proud.
There you
That
go.
doesn't mean I live at home with my mom and all that stuff. I'm not that kind of mama's boy. But I love my mama's cooking. Mama, I'll be home soon.
There you go. Nice. And so your father. How was your relationship with him, being that he was in the military? Did you see him often, or?
I did, and my father's just an amazing guy, and he's really the one that instilled all my values. And being that I was, a military child, you get, the integrity and just kind of the structural foundation of not only just how to be a man, but just kind of how to live life and do it right. And it almost gets into a routine, so to speak, and it's a good foundation to lay. So
nice.
Awesome,
so
man.
You have you're very spiritual, which so am I, and I love that.
Yeah.
Was that instilled within you, like growing up, or was it just something you kind of found?
That was a different situation as well, because it was cool because my mother's side, they were Catholic, and my father's side was Christian, and I believe in God, period, just at the end of the day.
Right.
So it was cool to see like the different religions and go to different churches, and I got to learn a little bit more about it. But when I really just kind of released everything was once I basically had everything downloaded, so to speak, into me. It was more about just really talking to God and growing my relationship with Him, and just really listening. And He'll steer you, and that's what it's about today.
Yeah. All right. That's dope. I like that. Do you have siblings?
I do. I got a little baby sister. She just had a kid.
Nice.
Ave, Sissy, congratulations.
There you go.
I haven't seen the baby yet, but I got a funny story about that. The baby, I actually FaceTimed the baby for the first time. Long story short, but I was making fun of the baby on FaceTime because the baby might have had a little bit of a big head in the FaceTime. And I was cracking jokes, and the baby flipped me off. Like, legitimately threw me the bird, and I was like, okay, well, that won't happen again. And I took a picture of it. I'll see if I can find it.
And how old is
he? Just born.
Just born,
it was actually
man.
a preemie, so it was not even supposed to be born yet.
Okay.
So it was ahead of her time.
Man.
Yep.
She already out for the uncle.
Yeah.
Did you have any nicknames growing up?
Man, yeah, I had a couple. They used to call me Big Maul because I was bigger when I was younger. I was a little short, overweight kid, believe it or not. And I was bald headed. People used to pick on me and call me Sinbad, the comedian. Oh, you think he's funny? Okay, see,
hey,
he was
funny.
one of the bullies.
Oh, yeah. Sinbad, I'm a big fan of Sinbad, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Sinbad, if you're making a documentary, get at me.
Right. Yeah, I can see. Okay, I can see. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I mean, just that was basically it. And then I think the main nickname that kind of stuck was once I started progressing at sports and football. I got the nickname JLou82, who he was kind of my alter ego, who he no longer lives. He is dead and gone. God bless his soul.
Okay. Was it a troubled alter ego?
He was a wild child. He was a stereotypical football player.
Yeah,
that whole guy, big-headed, couldn't tell him anything. That guy's,
Right. Yeah, no, I feel
I don't have time for him anymore.
Right.
He had to go.
He's dead and gone.
Yeah.
It's okay. He lived a good life, though.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, let's get into football, because you were pretty passionate in football, right?
Yeah, and it was crazy because it was never my plan, because I was such a short, overweight kid my whole life.
Yeah.
And when I hit the growth spurt and I started playing, I was fortunate to get a full-ride scholarship to Arizona State University.
Nice.
Shout out to the Sun Devils. And it was a good deal. It was a good time. A lot of learning experiences, a lot of growth happened. But that was, I think, where my major life lessons were taught, because
you were pretty passionate in football, right? Yeah. I think we hear a little playback, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, it was just like at that point.
Is it your phone?
Oh,
yeah, it was.
I started playing on my phone. Sorry, guys.
I was like, I hear echo in here.
There's echo in here too. But yeah, so I started to learn like a lot of lifelong lessons at that point in time, because I was out of the house for my first time. You know what I mean? I wasn't under my parents' roof, so I got to experience the college life and the nightlife, and then on top of that, I was the football star, so you were getting that limelight. And, I was just a young man, and I thought I was just living life. But really, I was running the streets acting crazy. And it took God. He said, you're not ready for this, son. He sat me down, and I got humbled. So my career didn't go as long as I wanted it to, but he had other plans. And just brought me back to surpassed where I thought it was going to be. So
nice. Yeah. What position did you play?
I came in as a tight end, so I was bigger. They had me up to Joe Ken. What's up, Joe Ken? He had me up to like 250, just huge, big bowling balls playing tight end. And then I didn't like to block. Okay. And I made it very apparent that I didn't like to block. I just wanted to score touchdowns and dance.
Yeah, there you go.
So they made me lose a lot of weight, and I got back down to like 215 and ended up playing receiver. So that's kind of where the glory came for me. And that's when it started. Head got bigger. And
Receiving, for sure. I remember the receiving guys on our team.
Yeah, I was that guy.
So when was it when you were in Arizona State that you kind of got into acting, or when did you really fall into acting?
No, you know what? I didn't fall into acting until maybe a couple years ago. Okay. And it started when I was done with football, and the girl that I was dating at the time, she told me that I should try and model. And it's just, at that point in time, you don't go from knocking heads very manly to wearing baby oil and modeling. It just wasn't happening. So I just was like, no. She ended up actually helping me get my first audition, which I booked. Nice. And long story short, I saw the check a couple weeks later when I got it, and I was like, oh, I'm modeling.
This is modeling.
Yes, I can model. Yeah. So it kind of became, and the lifestyle was the same with the fitness and working out and stuff like that, and staying active in the gym. So there wasn't that much of a switch up. Right. But it was more about learning how to get in the right areas in the industry, especially being in Arizona, which the industry is. It's there, but it's next to none. And you really have to dig deeper than if you're out here. Right, for sure. So that started in 2009. And that's when, I signed with Signature out in Arizona, and then I went to Ford. And that's kind of where some doors started to open
Yeah.
up out here in LA. So I started traveling a little bit, going back and forth. And then eventually was just like, you know what, I'm just going to move out here. And then once I got out here, the first gig that I booked was through LA Casting, and Gary F. Gray, who just got his star, shout out.
Nice. Yes,
He actually called me. And I'm like, bro, how'd you get this number? Like, who is this? Fast and the Furious? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And it was him, and he was like, yeah, you want to shoot a movie? And I was like, yes, sir, I do. And he's like, I have the perfect spot for you. You look just like one of my boys who used to be in this group called HBO Boys back in the day. And he threw me in straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
So then it was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Nice.
Yep.
That's dope. What did you have any like people that you kind of looked up to when you were growing up, or especially any shows or movies that you were like, damn, that's amazing?
When it came to shows, I was man. Do you remember TGI Fridays?
Yeah.
Woo! I couldn't wait. Why don't they have that now? Why is there no TGI Fridays? Can we talk about that?
Right?
Like
Man.
they had the best TV, like Family Matters, and what was the one with the roller coaster on the intro? The Family. I just forgot the name of it.
I can't remember that one, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but just those type of shows, I just love those. Right?
Producers, if you guys know that one, pop me a message because I'm dying.
Real quick. But just that whole lineup and stuff. But I never really I didn't have that passion of I wanted to be an actor at that time, so I was just enjoying TV.
For sure.
Like Eddie Winslow, he used to be that man.
Eddie Winslow, yeah.
He used to answer the phone, talk to me.
Right.
But I was more looking at sports figures, you know, like Michael Jordan.
Right.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, for sure.
Yep.
For sure. I mean, I don't really care what you're going to say about him, but how did you feel about all that when, you know, especially like recently with the documentary and stuff?
I couldn't finish watching it, man. Yeah. Just because, you know, it's even today, I don't want to speak too much on this stuff, but with R. Kelly and stuff, it's like the music is just so there, and you know what I mean? You find out all this other stuff. So with the Michael Jackson, he had so much impact on my life growing up.
Right.
Even when I was going through like the bullying stage. And the reason why I don't know if you remember, he had that song called "I'm Bad."
Of course.
I don't know. So
Michael Jackson fanatic right here, right?
Yeah. So the first time I heard that song, you know, he was "I'm bad, Jamaal." I swear he said my name, and I was like, "What? This is my dude." And then I started watching the show, and just started kind of, you know, watching him. And I mean, still to this day, I just got back from Vallarta, and they had a Michael Jackson show. For real? I was in the front row going nuts. Oh, I was screaming. I got footage. I'll send that to you afterwards. It's crazy. I was
you gotta send us
that.
That is crazy. That's dope, though. So when you made that transition out here to LA, and you booked, you know, straight out of Compton, that was your first gig on set in front of the camera. What happened after that?
That's a great question, because this is a very humbling industry, and the situation that I went through with football, it allowed me to adapt to this industry, in a sense that the very next day I was working audience work, which is audience work. If nobody knows, they pay you to sit in the audience, but it's less than minimum wage. Right. But when I came out here, I was managing a solar company at the time, so it was like I didn't have a job. You know what I mean? So I just came out here on a whim, and had faith in God, and was like, you know, take care of this. But at the same time, it was like, okay, you got this. You got a taste of what it could be, but you're still gonna have to work. Yeah. It's not just gonna keep steamrolling. And some people might be fortunate that way, but I'm a true believer in anything that you do, you have to pay your dues. Yeah. So it's like the stuff that people are seeing now. Like there were so many, I don't want to say heartbreaks, but there were so many no's that it took to get what's going on now. Oh yeah. And I've said it before, you just can't take it personal. Right. You know what I mean? You're not for everybody. You're not what everybody's looking for, regardless of who you are. It's either going to fit or not. You just got to keep pushing and on to the next. On to the next, right? And be comfortable with the word no. Yeah, you got to really be comfortable with that word. That's my motto. You got to stack them no's. Yeah. That yes. Yeah, that's true. Yep. To reach the yes. I definitely agree. So in relation to acting right now, when you got here, did you find yourself getting into in classes or step by step? That's the show. That's Thank you. Yes, step by step. Hey. Yeah, that was going on a roller coaster. Right. I remember that. Thank you. Thank you for that. Back to acting. So yeah, did you find yourself getting into classes, and if you found any
feedback or any comments from other people that you wish you didn't have, that you wish you didn't receive at that time, or were there any I'm trying to think of the word. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the word. Advice, yes. Was there any advice that you received at that time?
Not, it's the way that I could relate to this is like I'm always down for constructive criticism. I think constructive criticism actually builds you up if you're strong-minded enough to receive it.
Yeah,
if you're not one of the people who's like, well, you can't, you know what I mean?
Right.
But with the acting classes, I look at it almost as looking at as the Bible. Okay. So I did take classes, and I think it's very important to get a solid foundation of what it is in different. What's the word I'm looking for? There's different areas.
We just losing words today, y'all.
Yeah, they going this way and that way. But to get that foundation of knowledge, to have it, you know what I mean? But then if you look at, let's talk about the Bible, there's some people who can recite to you verbatim scriptures,
right,
but they don't live it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then there's some people who, have a general feel for it. They can't recite you just off the top of their head a certain scripture, but they're living it. You know what I mean? So it's like I think it's important to get the knowledge of acting classes and how to handle situations with auditions, this, that, and the other.
Right.
But you don't want to walk in there and just be thinking about that the whole time. Like, what do I do in this situation? You want to just flow and come naturally.
Yeah.
It's so important to be yourself. And I think that in this industry, too many people are trying to mimic other people because they found success. And they're like, oh, well, Will Smith had success. I'm going to act like him.
Right.
But there's already a Will Smith. So it's like, just be yourself.
I like that. That's dope. So far, what's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Ooh. Keep God first, honestly.
Okay.
And this is a very tricky industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially the higher you go, there's more things that are subject to try and change. So I think it's important, especially for me, to stay grounded in my moral values and understand that, where I come from and who I'm representing. And there's been stuff where it's like, ooh, I could get that check. I will be set. But then it's like, it's a compromise. You know what I mean? And it's like, nope, I'm just going to take the long way. And sometimes I think that that's the primary reason why it's taken me this long to get to where I'm at today. Because there's been gigs that I've been thrown that's like huge print work campaigns, movie campaigns, but it's like I can't go down that road. That's not what I want to represent.
Yeah.
And it's a hard pill to swallow, so to speak, when you actually see like that's the dollar amount. Like, you know what I mean? Because like this is real life.
Oh yeah.
Like this is not just words.
Life
like
changing.
Look, this is a contract.
Right.
Oh my God. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then it's like, oh my God. Okay.
Literally. Oh
I'm
my
gonna have
God.
to pass. I'll talk to you later.
Right. There's you definitely have to know who you are. I think that's a big thing too.
Yeah.
So you've been on Ballers, Games People Play.
Yeah.
How is the auditioning process for some of these jobs for you?
With Games People Play, that one was fun.
Yeah.
And for a lot of them, some of them you don't even know what you're auditioning for until you just show up. Like with Games People, I had no idea what it was. And a cool story was about Saronis, the one that plays the lead in that. I was actually his stand-in season for Insecure. So like that's my dude.
Yeah, Saronis. Yeah.
So like when I showed up, it was kind of surreal because it was like when I was standing in for him, it wasn't envious, but it was like, man, I want to do this. I want somebody to stand in for me. You know what I mean? And then it was like once I showed up, and he was like, yo, we doing a scene together. And I was like, see, look, you just got to trust the process.
That's dope.
And just keep pushing away. You know what I mean? Just keep knocking those ducks down, as I was saying earlier. So
what's one of your favorite moments with Saronis?
All of them.
Set.
He's just a goofball. Yeah. But I would say probably the man, this one. We were on set, and I had just got there. And, when you book, like, a lead role as opposed to, like, if you're doing background, like, you have a little bit more leeway. And you're cool with your phones and stuff. And, you can still take pictures and stuff, but you got to act professional.
Exactly.
And I had just got this brand new phone, and there was a girl that I was shooting with, and she was like, will you take a picture of me when I go to do my scene? I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. And so she went up there, and it was Lauren London and Saronis, and they were doing their little scene, and I was sitting in my little director's chair, like, right behind them, and they got this whole set up. And they're like, action. And they start filming. I got my new phone, and I just pulled it out. And it's dead quiet. And you can hear them talking. And I go to take a picture, and it's like, ching. And I was like, oh my
Man,
God. And the whole room turned and looked at me. Yeah. I started sweating bullets and I was like, oh, God. They are never calling me back. But Serona, he kind of lightened it up. And he's like, man, really?
Really? Like, yeah.
Like,
you need his saving right there, bro.
Yeah, like a rookie. Like, oh, man. So,
wow.
He's a cool dude, though.
So, with London, did you, I mean, obviously with the whole Nipsey thing, did you, how did you receive that whole event? Because it hit hard for a lot of us.
Yeah,
especially
it's
not just in the music industry, but just in the community as well.
Right. Well, when I filmed with her and I did my scene with her, it was before this actually happened.
Yeah.
So, and it was cool. We had a great vibe together. She kept telling me I looked like her friend Matt Barnes, who I'm actually in business now right now. Shout out Matt, what's cracking?
Nice.
But I mean, just all around great person. And you never know when you meet, some celebrities, because some get like I was when I was playing football in the Big Head, and you just don't know how they're going to act. And she was very welcoming, and scene went well and everything like that. Good time. So when I did hear about the passing, and it happened like literally like right after, it did hit hard, because I do like his music. I do listen to his music a lot. Now it's like I listen to it more, but it's just, it's really unfortunate. It just makes you really like think about life, and my mind went sideways when I first heard about it. I was like, oh, here we go, another conspiracy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like, I don't know. You just don't know what to believe and not to believe.
Exactly. Days. Yeah, you really don't. But just celebrate his life, and what he meant to us. So with everything that's going on, were there ever any like challenges or any demons that you still deal with in this industry that try to throw you off track?
It's not so much as it was when I started.
Okay.
And truthfully, it's because I do book a lot off social media.
Right.
Like my agent does get me stuff, and I do get stuff by self-submitting. But I get a lot of stuff off social media, and I'm very, very outspoken about my faith, and I actually tend to almost minister, which I didn't even realize I was doing, on my social media. Nice. And so it's like the audience that I'm drawing in, it's not so much of that. It's kind of like a protective shield.
That's good.
Like people know beforehand, so it's like if they're contacting me, they already know.
Right.
So in that sense, no. Things that I've had to deal with on set, not so much. Like there's been instances where like I've had to play a person where it's brought me back to a place that I used to been, which that's crazy. I did a lead role for a movie that's coming out. It's called Poles, and the guy Bo. What's up, Bo? Shout out to Bo. I'm shouting everybody out. We all gonna make it. Right. But so Bo, he has bipolar disorder.
Okay.
And so I had to learn about it, and I really didn't know about it. I had what I thought it was in my mind, but it was something completely different. I got to hang out with him and actually see it. And some of the symptoms were actually things that I went through when I was going through a very dark spell in my life. So I was like, ooh, I do not want to go back there. I do not want to go back there. But it actually helped me in the role because I could turn that on and I would actually have flashes of stuff in my life. So it was like the so-called demons or whatever you want to call it, like it ended up being a blessing that I could relate and pull that in, you know what I mean? And then we had something in common.
Okay.
And it's like you don't have to live there anymore, but it's just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good reminder of where you come from. This
scene is going to be fire.
It's going to be fire. What's some of the things that you do to prepare yourself for a character or a certain scene?
It just like in all actuality, like my biggest thing is just it truly is to be yourself. Even within the character, because if someone's like, okay, we want you to be like this or play this role, that's fine. Like we get that. But the thing that's going to separate you from everybody else or make somebody remember you is your ability to put yourself into that character and really bring it to life, like through you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you're not so much of like a cookie cutter.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
What's some of your favorite moments on set? Like, do you have one particular moment where you're like, okay, that was amazing?
I have one. All of them are. They're all surreal moments, but I had one that happened last night, and I died. I was laughing so hard because there was a girl on set who I had worked with numerous times, and she's a strong woman of faith. And she was just saying how she was watching me on set, and she's like, I just like watching you act, and it was for a Ty Dolla $ign music video. And she was just watching me or whatever. And she was like, I was just sitting in my car and God's got a word for you. And she walked up and gave me a word right there on set. And she was like, God said, just keep lighting up the darkness. And I was like, wow, that was amazing.
Wow.
And then at the end of the night, it's checkout. And it's like 4 a.m. in the morning. And everybody's checking out. And the same girl, she was sitting in the front of the line. And the checkout, when you check out, like it's a very long line and they have to sign your paperwork.
Right.
So it takes a little bit.
Right.
It's 4 a.m. Everyone's delirious, like, oh my God,
exactly.
home. And the lady told her to go to the back of the line. And she was like, look, I was standing here. I was minding my business. I'm going to stay here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And the lady told her a couple times to get back of the line. And then the same girl, she just went off. And she was like, oh,
yeah,
God bless you, God bless you. And my cheeks were just blown up. There was veins popping out of my head. I'm just dying. Like,
wow,
this stuff like that. It's just, it's funny.
Did you meet Ty Dolla $ign or?
Yeah. I've worked with him before
on
numerous times, but yeah, we'll just keep that up. Like they like to have fun on set, and I like to just kind of stay back.
Right.
Yeah,
the good old that
I would
type
like
of
to
fun.
walk out of set, not stumble.
Yeah. You like to see.
I like to know what's going on. Yes.
On Ballers, were you able to meet The Rock, Dwayne?
I have.
You did?
Yeah, the first season
How
I
was
did.
that?
It's cool. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm actually shooting for them tomorrow.
Okay.
And on Monday, I got a call back for them too.
Nice.
And then I shot with them. I actually stood in for him, but I don't know where he was. I didn't get to see him, but I stood in for him because somebody didn't show up. So, I mean, he's a cool dude. It was just real short-lived, but dude eats.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Every little cut that we had, I remember we were shooting at UCLA's field, and they would yell "cut," and a little girl would run out onto the field with one of those little pre-cooked meals, and she would hand it to him, and he would just eat it,
man,
kill it. Yep, he's a beast.
Yeah, you just gotta feed those muscles, man.
Something. He's got muscles on muscles.
That's
a
right?
big dude.
Yeah, I mean he's even bigger than when he was in WWF. Like WWE is like crazy.
Yeah.
If there's someone you would definitely want to work with, who would that be?
It's crazy, but it's people that not a lot of people know about. That like when you meet people on set, it's like, why aren't you a star? Or why aren't you a star?
Yeah.
Or why aren't you a star? And it's like I've had this new vision coming in my head recently where it's like I want to start a production company called Stay Blessed and actually make a movie. And I want to, there's a like my dude Hollywood Lou, if he's probably not even watching, but Hollywood Lou, this dude, it's just one of those people you look at and you're like, man, that dude is a star. Why won't somebody give him a chance? So I wouldn't even say it's not any of the celebrities or well-established people that are out there to this day. I mean, I feel like that's the easy route out. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like some of these people that I've actually got to witness on set, and I'm like, man, I would watch a movie with just you in it, just talking to the camera.
Nice.
So there's people like that. Brandon Larkins, another funny dude. I mean, there's a handful of people that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It's gonna happen too. I'm speaking in existence.
Yeah, you got to
Stay Blessed Productions.
Put it out
Come
there.
through,
man.
Jesus.
Let's go. I do want to take a moment to also thank you again for being here on the show, and thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Also, shout out to AfterBuzz TV and Black Hollywood Live. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here week in and week out, bringing you amazing guests inside the Black Actor Studio. And so I want to talk about.
Oh Lord, here comes the curveball. I thought I was out smooth and clean.
Out smooth and clean, never. No, it's not crazy. But I do want to talk a little bit about just the process, because we do have a lot of aspiring actors and entrepreneurs that tune in and watch the show. So I want you to give some gems, drop a little knowledge here of how to take your career to the next step.
The best advice that I could give is stay consistent, and it's truly from the beginning until you start to establish kind of a name. And I'm not even to where I want to be, but I'm to the point where it's like I'm getting direct calls now saying we want to book you. But it's a numbers game. So like go on all these websites, get on all of them.
There's 100.
There's like they're out there, right? Yeah. And I literally submitted to anything and everything that was in. You get to plug in, the specifics, and it'll weed them out for you. But I didn't care if it was $50, $150, $5,000. Like, don't look at the dollar sign, because right now you're trying to build your resume.
Right.
And I would just submit to everything, and it's a numbers game. And I would do 250 self submissions a day for 5 days. That's 1,000 a week, 4,000 a month. Out of that, you'll get like you'll get 30 to 45 auditions.
Right.
You knock those down till you get 10 or 15 bookings.
Yeah.
And I did that for years, just religiously, and that's how it kind of started. And then you build that kind of, people see you out there and they see you doing stuff, and then you meet people too. You meet these people on set,
right? And
they're like, "Oh, he was pleasant to be around," or "Oh, she was pleasant to be around. Let's direct book him. We still have his information."
Exactly.
And then that starts to happen, and then from that, if you want to, because I didn't rely on an agency or anything like that. It was just like, I'm gonna get this on my own.
Right.
And it wasn't until recently that I signed with a decent agency, a really good agency actually, that started getting, like, they got me games people play. And Call of Duty, they're about to release all the print work for Call of Duty, which is gonna be cracking.
Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, right?
Yep. That's it.
There you go.
So I mean, just it doesn't happen overnight. My advice would just, the consistency is key. You can't sit back and just hope that something's going to come. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you actually, in this situation, if you're self-submitting, you have to cook the food and put it on your plate and then eat it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, your mama's not there to feed you.
I know. That's sad.
I had to think about that.
I was like, no. So, as a whole in Hollywood, we're changing, a lot of diversity and all that. So, what's your take on where you think Hollywood is going right now?
Stay Blessed Productions.
That's where it's going.
I'm trying to bring this light back into the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of more opportunities for people of color all around, and actually in front of the camera. Still a little work behind the camera that needs to be done.
Yeah. But I mean, even behind the camera, there's people that are arising. They're surfacing.
For sure.
But I think with the diversity, I think it's just a beautiful thing. Yeah. Just as long as a person is in their passion, and it's like, you know what I mean? When you actually get to see somebody's God-given abilities and talents like come to fruition and just put together something amazing, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to watch. So, and now with all this stuff with YouTube, there's people that are getting movie deals off YouTube because of content that they're creating on YouTube. So that's another thing. Right. And it's like, man, it makes me want to start a YouTube channel.
YouTube channel.
I mean, what are you doing after this? Go shoot a YouTube video.
Go shoot a YouTube. I'm down. Have you ever experienced, like, in your journey, any type of discrimination or anything?
Not because of, well, not directly to my face because of my skin complexion or anything like that. But when I first started, one of my acting talent coaches told me I would never make it. And it was because I had so many tattoos. It was like, you'll never make it. You have too many tattoos. And it was like, okay, I can either listen to this dude, or, just completely exit out. And I did exit out. And there was stuff that, there's stuff always, just like with the nose, that I've been counseling. You have too many tattoos, too many tattoos. Yeah. But then it got to the point where it's like, and it was a surreal moment, and it just happened. I booked a DJ Khaled music video. And they painted me out. Yeah. I had no tattoos. Right. And I was like, if something really wants you, like if it's meant for you to be, like the tattoos don't matter. Right. So it's like, if I would have listened to that dude years ago, I wouldn't have booked that. Right. Because I would have listened to him and probably skated out and not done it. So
and then you did. You were talking a little bit about the All-American one. Yeah.
That was one of those ones.
That was one of the ones that they were like, the tattoos. Okay, we can't paint you.
And it was more to that because I did get to shoot the pilot. It was amazing. Yeah. But they wanted me to do a reoccurring role, which there would have been a lot of stuff with painting out. It would have been more than one time. Gotcha. But it was the tattoos on top of the sides. They're like, we don't know if you could pass as a high school football player.
Maybe like, college,
I don't know. Right. Possibly, but I don't know.
Right. How was it like meeting and working a little bit with Tay Diggs? So?
He's a cool guy. Yeah. Just real personable, very outspoken, but like chill guy. You know what I mean? It was for a brief minute. I didn't get to chill him that long. Yeah. But he's definitely down to earth guy. Nice. And easy to work with. Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah. Well, I got some questions I want to ask you now. This is where it's going to get.
Let me really pray real quick.
Yeah, give me a moment. Let me give me a moment. Now, so what's your favorite movie?
Snatch.
Hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Different. I
All right.
don't know what it is about that movie. It's something about the way that they talk. It's intriguing. Like when you really think about who wrote the script and has them, like how can you just mumble words like that? I understand it. I don't know. But I think that's one of my all-time favorites. Anything with Eddie Murphy in it, I'll die. I'll fall out the chair.
Are you excited for Coming to America?
Yeah,
too?
What? Endorsed.
Right. If there was if you had a choice to be on a TV show that's on right now, what would it be?
Man. Game of Thrones. It just went off.
It just went off.
Yeah. I think just because of the buzz all around, it'd be kind of cool to be on Game of Thrones.
If you want to know, there was like a giant on there. That'd be good.
No, I'd just be the random light-skinned dude that got the dragon. I'd have the tightest dragon ever.
Yeah, the tightest dragon.
What? My dragon can glow.
There you go.
The whole thing.
What's your favorite word?
Cracking.
Cracking.
You say cracking anything.
Okay.
Cracking. What's up, man? Cracking. Where you going?
Cracking. That's a good one. What's your least favorite word?
Lit.
Lit? Really?
Can't stand lit.
I'm gonna get lit.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just when, like, I understand that it's not my generation. Like that, you know what I mean? Like we had our own slang words.
Yeah.
And I had just posted something on my social media about this. There should be an age cutoff where it's like you're not allowed to use this word if you're above this. Yeah, 'cause I see people growing than me. But, oh, that's lit. I'm like. Can we talk?
Because it can refer to a lot of things, though. You know, it's weird, though.
It's the culture. And look, when the kids say it, so it doesn't bother me so much. Right. Listen, I sound like an old man when the kids say
yeah, right. When the kids
back
say
in my day, like, you know what I mean? But no, I did a little video and I was like, if you ever catch me saying lit just out and open, you have permission to slap me in the mouth.
All right, I remember that. What's a turn on for you? Something to get you.
God.
Yeah.
Yes. This anything like he's my light and just my source. You know what I mean? It's like I went through a period in time in my life where it was just I didn't have direction, purpose, anything like that. So it's just like the ability to just wake up. Some of the stuff that I went through, it's just like I just got to give all glory to him.
That's right.
Yep.
That's true. All right.
Good and bad. It's important the bad people give glory to God for the bad. Be like, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
for whooping my ass. Yeah. It's true though. It's really true. We need it. We need both.
Yeah.
What's a turn off?
The devil.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep it black and white.
Keep it black and white.
Yeah, just keep it black and white. Just there's so much temptation in this world today, just with this, that, or the other, whatever it is. And even when I was in a state of solitude, I was in a state of solitude for a long time when I moved out here. It's just he'll find a way to maneuver in your life, and it's just like, man, get out of here.
Right.
Like, not today, bro.
Not today.
I ain't got time for you. Yeah.
Right. Yes, for sure. What's a sound or noise that you love?
The tuba.
Really?
No, I'm playing. That's kind of inside jokes. I played the tuba when I was growing up.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're a band guy and
geek,
football
nerd.
band geek.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say geek, but
hey, I was.
But yes, you got it.
I am heart and soul. That's still me.
There you go.
I'm still that little guy. But no, I like nature sounds like waterfalls and birds chirping and just like soothing stuff like that.
You go to sleep to like water and stuff?
No, I don't do that. Not to that extent. No, when I knock out, I knock out. It's easy. Isogenics. Shout out to Isogenics.
Isogenics.
Yep.
Is that yes? Talk a little bit about that because I also want to.
This is basically my healthcare. I think it's very important with the stuff that we're going through in the industry. You have to be healthy first and foremost. You can't function. You can't. You have to be able to sleep when you need to sleep. You have to be able to think clear at all times, and that's definitely it.
Dope. And that plays a little bit into Stay Blessed because you kind of, right?
Yeah, I think everything right now is just aligned in my life.
Aligned, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so this was, Jill Bowman actually brought this into my life and introduced it to me way back in the day, and I started taking it and felt the immediate results. It helps you release weight, think clear, boost your natural energy levels.
I'm going to have to try some.
And sleep at night.
Put it up in here.
Yep. Cracking.
Cracking. Every time I hear that, I'm thinking, what profession, other than your own right now, would you participate in if you could?
Profession. You know, I'm very artistic, so I think it would be cool to do something along the lines of like painting or drawing or something like that for a living. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say anything like construction or anything like that. That's kind of out of my element. But I like to doodle and stuff like that. And some of these paintings and stuff I see of that people do, and I'm like, wow, that's interesting. And now it's like a new age of painting, where people are painting stuff upside down and they're flipping. It's like, whoa, like,
yeah. Okay.
You pay me $10,000 for that. We in the business. I'll make whatever you want.
Right. What profession would you absolutely not be a part of?
I would never work at Taco Bell again.
Again. Woo,
I saw too many things.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yep.
That is
It was
rough.
just the one that I was at. I'm not saying anything about Taco Bell. Taco Bell's good. I like the food. But I saw too many things.
Saw too many things. Okay. Well, we don't want to go into that.
They will come after us.
When you get to heaven, what would you like to hear God say to you?
Welcome. Yep.
Nice.
I've been waiting.
Thank you. I've been waiting.
What took you so long, bro?
Well, you had to finish your work down here first.
Like, man, truly, there's a lot to do.
You're right. And so we're going to wrap up here with Jamaal in just a second, but I wanted you to touch a little bit more on, stay blessed.
Yes.
And just briefly where it's been, or where it's come from, and where it's going.
Okay. Stay Blessed originated for me at the all-time lowest of low points that I could go. And I was in a party stage in my life, and I had been up partying, and one of the only friends that I had left at the time, he just kind of looked at me, and it was just kind of like one of those moments like, bro, you're better than this, one of those kind of things. And he grabbed me by my shoulder, and he looked me dead in my eye, and he was like, bro, you're blessed. And he was like, stay that way. And I was like, stay blessed. Stay blessed. And it was like, it just resonated, and it hit me so hard that it was just like the darkness and everything just cleared.
Right.
And it was like all this weight just got lifted off my shoulders. So that's when the message kind of imprinted my heart.
Okay.
And I didn't know it was going to come to this. I had no idea. I just knew that whatever I did, every single day when I woke up, I was going to stay blessed, period. And this is when the modeling and acting thing started, and Facebook, Instagram had just started. But I would just kind of like, if I had an audition or just something, I even look back and I'm like, wow, that was so small. But it was like I was still giving glory to God on this new journey back then, and saying stay blessed for the new message that he had imprinted in my heart. So this is bigger than whatever's going on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would just be like, yo, I just had an audition. Stay blessed. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And at first, when people would see it, they were like, what is he talking about? Stay blessed. We were just in the club with him getting it cracking. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it didn't happen right then and there. It was a process of me really saying it. And I believe it's probably to the point where the people who have been watching me this whole time, they know what's coming, but they're probably, he's going to say, stay blessed again. Dang straight I am.
Right,
stay blessed. Yes.
Right.
So that's kind of where it started from. And then just one day, spontaneously, I went and made a little cheap shirt at a kiosk in the mall. Just very simple, stay blessed.
Yeah.
And I posted on my Instagram, which Instagram had just started. So I had maybe like 150 believers. I call them believers, not followers. And I posted it. And like if you get like, you go from 9 likes to 10 likes, and it switches over to the 10 and not everybody's name. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. That was, it was long, but
I ain't been that in a minute, bro.
Right.
Dang, yeah. But so it switched over from like all the names to like the 10, and I got like 100% likes, and then I had like 100% comments of people just saying, I need that shirt. Where'd you get that shirt? And it was just kind of light bulb went off, and I prayed on it. Right then and there, I was like, God, what do you want me to do with this?
Nice.
And I heard him loud and clear. He was like, make me a vehicle to spread this message.
Dope.
And I was like, wow. And so I went to school for digital art. So I actually sat down and designed the logos, everything. Went out and got the trademark for it, which that is by the grace of God that was even available.
Nice.
Because I'm not saying that I didn't make up the term stay blessed. People have probably been saying it for years before I even came into this world.
Of course.
But it was the message that really impacted me. And so I knew nothing about business. I took all the money that I had, threw it into it, and just started giving out to people. Didn't have a website or anything. And then it just kind of started steamrolling. Hit a little rough patch, which I really don't want to talk about too much because it's a negative energy. And they don't even deserve that credit to even be talked about. But I had to shelf it for 2 years.
Okay.
And that was when I said, things will test your faith and see like what your purpose and what your passion is. And it's like at that point in time, I could have hung it up and just be like, yo, stay blessed is done.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is my purpose. This is my baby. Like, I understand that some of these sets that I go on, God is putting me there, so someone needs to see this message.
Right.
And I'll go on to some of these music videos with Ty Dolla $ign or Big Sean or whoever, and sometimes I would question myself, like, why am I on this set? This is not necessarily something, and just loud and clear, somebody needs to see this message, and someone will see it and be like, thank you. And I'm like, at first I'd be like, what do you mean, thank you? What'd I do? But now it's like, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Got it.
So,
okay.
And that's what we relaunched it. Just put in our first wholesale account. We're going to be in all the LA Fitnesses out in Arizona.
Nice.
So it kind of came around full circle. So AZ, watch out.
AZ.
I'm coming back.
You in the house. Well, that's dope. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
That's
All
great.
God. All God.
Yes.
Glory to God.
And so, yeah, thank you so much for being here. We're going to wrap up with Jamaal. And go ahead and tell everyone where to find you and how to keep in contact.
If you're on, I would say the main thing is Instagram. It's at Mr. Lewis82, or the clothing line is at stayblessed_co.
_co.
Yes.
Awesome. And I wish you the best of luck.
You the man.
We'll be in contact.
Yes.
We'll be in contact.
We're making a YouTube video right after
Right.
this if anyone wants to come out.
If y'all want to come out and be sure to subscribe and like. Stay blessed all the time. Why wait? And you can find me everywhere at I am Danny Royce. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Same place, same time, inside the Black Actor Studio. Later.
Stay blessed.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content, and be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.